Absolutely. And you're talking about cleaning things out. It's not all about activity. You also have to take time to clear the cobwebs out of your head. If you can, take a vacation or plan a vacation if you can take one later in the year. But do something that's just relaxing. Take a day trip, go somewhere. Take at least a day to go, all right, you know what? I'm not going to worry about work. I'm not going to worry about everything that's going on. I'm just going to take the time to relax. People do not realize how detrimental it is to be going full steam 24/7. You need to take the time to step back. And if you do this before you start your spring cleaning, you'll be amazed at when you take a look at things, you've got a different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you need to put time out into your day, whether it's a little meditation practice or a walk or this or that. It's so important to do that. And if you want to see exactly how you are doing, you also have this in your calendar too, Eric. Take a little log for a week. Just write down everything you've done during the day and how much time you spent doing it, and see how much time. It's really important to record how much time you put into this, and you're going to see patterns there of productivity, of wasting time, and so on and so forth. And what you can do as far as part of the spring cleaning type thing is to put emphasis on the things you need to prioritize more, and to basically slow down on the things or get rid of the things that you are doing, or delegate out things where you're wasting time yourself.
Absolutely. The basis of time management is understanding how you're already spending your time. Time management isn't really about managing time, it's about managing yourself. So if you understand where you're spending time, how much time you're spending on certain things, track it. See what you're doing. How much time are you really spending working? How much time are you spending flipping through Facebook just mindlessly? When you understand how you're spending time, you can manage it better. And again, give yourself that clean sweep. Go, all right, you know what? I'm not going to judge any of this. I'm just going to see where it takes me. And that's very important. When you're going through, whether it's cleaning out the garage, whether it's putting together a time management process, whether it's straightening your desk or going through your work, you need to make this a no judgment zone. You can't be saying, oh, I should have done this 3 months ago. Oh, this has been sitting here, I should have acted on this. Don't judge. It is what it is, and move forward with that clean slate.
Yeah, absolutely. All we have is the present moment. We talk about that all the time. But if you're not doing this on a daily basis, you should also put together some personal development time. I'm talking about reading. I'm talking about exercise. I'm talking about whatever you want to do, but you have to be working on developing yourself professionally and personally. And so it's a really great idea to just research. Again, if we're talking about your personal strategic plan, what are the things that you are interested in? What would you like to learn more about? On the business side of things, where are you wasting all your time? Where would you like to learn how to get more efficient here and there? Just identify things. And if you can just take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour a day, sometime during the day, to just read something, to work on something, it is so important to do that.
Absolutely. And that's something else that people go, oh, I don't have enough time. It doesn't matter how much time you're doing it, as long as you're doing it. Everybody has the time to read a page. And if you do that, that's 1 page more than you read yesterday. Try to read, 2 or 3 pages. If you're listening to audiobooks, you'd be amazed at some of the books that are out there that really don't take that long to listen to. I set a challenge for myself this year. I'm trying to read or listen to 100 books over the course of the year. So right now I'm just slightly behind. I'm at 24 books. Given that it's the end of the quarter, I should have been at 25. Um, but I'm mixing up those books because one, putting some novels in, putting some classic books in. There are some of them are a little longer, but I find them very relaxing. So that's sort of me time. But I'm also learning new things, and I'm listening to books that I've heard before or read before, but I'm listening to them with a new sort of attention. Like we've talked about the 1 Minute Manager. I listened to that the other day. If you listen to it at normal speed, the whole thing only takes a little over 2 hours. So it's not that time consuming once you look into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's podcasts out there now. Obviously, I think you know a little bit about those because you got so many of those going on. But there's so many subjects out there. And again, if you just write down what your interests are and so on and so forth, and you put it in your daily calendar that you are going to do for half an hour a day, doing that. I mean, if you read for half an hour a day, you'll probably read 20, 30 pages. And that's 6,000, 7,000 pages a year. How many books is that if you're just reading that
Right.
few pages a day, or if you're listening to a book on Audible? Again, that's you're looking at just 100 books a year, which is just absolutely amazing. And you've heard me use this before in my presentations, but I've been listening to things in my car all the time. For those of you who drive a lot, I call my car driver's ed, because my real name is Edward Joseph Janiszewski Jr. But the amount of personal development things and professional development things that I have listened to in my car over the years, people ask me what degrees I have. I still just have my bachelor's of science in accounting, but I have a whole lot of masters in a whole lot of different things just by listening to things in the car. And that's really helped me develop into what I do today, because you really can't take courses on happiness and success. You're pulling that in from all over the place and putting 2 + 2 together. And I'm just teaching people, making people aware of what it is. It's things that they already know and things that I did too. But by listening to them and writing them down and now teaching them, it's been amazing. And everybody out there has the ability to do that too. But if you just work on yourself. And I like your idea of, instead of just listening to all business stuff all the time, put those novels in. And I know you have a lot of different interests too, and so do other people. Write them down, put that into your daily routine. The book doesn't have to be business or self-improvement. It can just be for relaxation.
Absolutely. And again, that's, the whole idea behind the spring cleaning is to give yourself that new start. So whether you start reading new things or doing things a different way, the idea is clear out the cobwebs, clear out the clutter. By nature, we tend to collect things. And usually when we hold on to something, it's with the statement, I'll get to this later. Well, you know what? Sometimes later doesn't come. And if it sits there too long, you need to go, you know what? Let it go. I'm not going to get to it. That's fine. Let's get rid of that and move on. We all tend to weigh ourselves down with baggage, physical, emotional. The spring cleaning is the time to get rid of the baggage. If it's something that's going to be useful to you, hang on to that, file it, keep it somewhere. But if it's something you're never going to get to, if it's something that just reminds you, oh, I should have done, spring cleaning is time to get rid of it. It's make yourself light.
Absolutely. So this is absolutely perfect time of the year to start something new and doing that. One last thing on the business side, which I think we forgot to bring up, but this is something that you especially make sure that people do, is to take a look at your social media and your website and so on and so forth. That's analyze that as part of how you're running your business, but also part of what your business promotion package is out there too. So why don't you talk a little bit about what people can do with that, especially again, if you have seasonal businesses and so on.
Absolutely. It's a time to take a look at what has worked and what hasn't worked. And something that people have to remember about social media is that the algorithms behind the scenes change. So just because something worked 6 months ago doesn't mean it's going to be working now. Giving your social media spring cleaning, it's a great chance to go, all right, you know what? I've been posting in this group and that group. I haven't gotten any responses from this one, but I'm doing well in that one. Well, let's do more with the one that works. It goes back to the 80-20 rule. You should be spending 80% of your time on the 20% of social media that's actually generating results. So for your spring cleaning, take a look at what you've been doing. Are you on every social media? Do you need to be? Cut back and see what, to just what's working. And then you can expand back out when you make changes. Come up with new campaigns, new focuses. When you're doing social media promotion, you should have a theme in mind. Well, spring cleaning is a great time to change that theme and give it a refresh. So again, and it's the same thing with your networking commercial, your introduction, your elevator pitch. Give everything a refresh. You've got a new season. Spring is the time of rebirth. Let's all have all of these communications reborn. Create that new image.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you're doing your networking commercials, it's a good idea to have a few of them and track your results. See how people respond to those. So
absolutely. So again, as I said at the beginning, people need a trigger to create a new habit, or they need some sort of boost to get things moving. The spring cleaning can be that boost for right now. We always talk about the New Year's resolutions, but now we're into the year, we're 1 quarter in. Take a look at what you said you were going to do. Did you do it? Are you doing it? If not, it's time for a refresh. So we're just about out of our time. So Chip, what do you think is the big takeaway for our listeners this week?
I love the trigger analogy because it's apropos for now and for the whole year. But on the business side of things, you're analyzing, you're strategizing. Same thing on the personal side of things. The business spring cleaning is getting rid of your business clutter and your bad strategies and so on and so forth. On the personal side, get rid of your personal baggage. You're outside in the yard cleaning up the yard and so on and so forth. So what you need to do is start this new habit in the yard. After you get rid of all the stuff in the grass or whatever, you're going to fertilize it, you're going to water it, and you're going to watch it grow. The same thing with your business. Basically analyze, come up with new things that you want to do, and you're fertilizing there and watching it grow means monitoring it, because you have to continue to do that. So it's an ongoing process, and a great time to do that is to start right now. Trigger.
Exactly. And I love that you just said you're setting things up to grow. That's part of that spring cleaning process. It's planting those seeds to see them grow. So it's time to get rid of the clutter, whether it's physical clutter in your house, organizational clutter in your business, or just things cluttering up your mind and taking the chance to relax. Now is the time to do that spring cleaning, get yourself in a new mindset, and set yourself up for growth. That's what spring's all about. And of course, when you're setting yourself up for growth, don't forget to go to xvadio.com/contest and enter to win some of the great books that are put together by our podcast hosts and guests. We talked about reading more and personal growth. These are great books. So go join us and celebrate our podcast growth. You've been listening to the Success Showcase. You can catch us every week at xvadio.com/podcasts. You can also find us on the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, and wherever you find podcasts. Remember, make this your best week ever and make next week even better. We'll see you then.